Hello and welcome to the short presentation on our labour scheduling extension. I'm starting you off here in the job calendar view, which is available here on the menu. What this gives us, if we look at the criteria, is we can look at any date period we want to. So I'm looking here from the 7th to the 10th to the 13th to the 10th. I can also narrow it down by a postcode of the site that my engineers might be attending. And in this option, I've just included jobs that are actually due in this period. So you can see here on the left we have a job listing and we have the due date of the job here. We can also see its site work, we can also see the customer and the site that we're actually visiting. So we have 5 jobs listed down here and you can see them in date due order. Then if we look across, basically we have a key here which says yellow is site work, blue is service centre, and these double asterisks show that planned operations are due. So actually let's just change this slightly and add a couple of extra days into the equation, like so. So if we look here, so we can see this booking here for Andrew of 4 hours is blue, so it's a service centre job, so we can see here, and we can see we've got some yellow bookings, so they are site work jobs. So it's easy to tell who's in and who's out of the service centre at any point. As well as seeing the jobs that are currently being worked on, we can also see non-productive codes here. So you can see for holiday, I have 3 people booked out for the rest of this week. I've also got Claire on sickness, and I also know that T. Simmons is off for some reason tomorrow, maybe a doctor's appointment or hospital appointment. And I've also got someone on training tomorrow. So that then, if we look further down this list, what we can see in the bottom section is unscheduled engineers. So I've got 4 sections typically of unscheduled engineers, and you can see there's different lengths of engineers here based on who's actually working. So as you can see, Barry isn't in this list, but he's in this list, but Barry's working on Friday at the moment, so we have him booked out. The double asterisks here, as I mentioned, is about planned operations. Now, not everyone uses planned operations, but the great thing about planned operations is if you have booked an operation for that day, you can basically see that B. Smith's here for 240 minutes. So I can then book him straight onto this job. So if we look at job 50785 in EMEA, what you can see is this is the planned operation that I've entered. So I've not only chosen an engineer, I've also chosen the date it was due and how long it should take. And as I say, that directly comes into this section here of the labour scheduling system, and I can just choose B. Smith, automatically goes into site work, because we know it's site work, and I can book him out for 240 minutes. And that's B. Smith booked onto that job now, and as you can see, he's disappeared from the available engineers. Doesn't mean we can't still book him, but he's not totally available. So these are the totally unscheduled people at the bottom of the list. If I wanted to book someone on this job though, for tomorrow, and I haven't got a planned operation, as you can see, it's just an empty cell. It's very simple to drag and drop people onto a job. So if I right click, I've got a choice here. I can change labour and I can change resources. So with labour scheduling, you're not only scheduling the engineers, but you can also schedule key equipment such as vans and test equipment. So if I wanted to change labour on this job at the moment, I can just go in here. I have no planned operations, but I can say, actually, I want to use Andrew on this job, and he's going to be on it all day, like so. As it's a site work job, he probably needs a vehicle, so I'm going to change resources too. This shows me my list of available resources, and I'm going to book him onto that vehicle, and he's going to need that vehicle all day. So he's booked on, like so. If for some reason we decided that that wasn't a good day and actually he needs to go on Friday, I can just hold that cell down with my left mouse and drag it into Friday, and it moves him across. So both him and the vehicle are now booked on Friday. Similarly, I can move him back very easily as well, and the information changes. The other thing you can do, say for example here, we have, as you can see, 5 people booked onto this, and this actually is an engineering team. So if I wanted to book the same team on Monday, I can right click here, do change, I can do add a team to this booking, and then it shows me my two teams that I've set up. I can choose site team 1, and straight away pops all those engineers onto that job on that day. Again, I can add then a resource to it. So let's say they needed a Baker tester and they needed a vehicle. I can then book those all day as well, like so. So we've now got a team booked with vehicle and the test equipment as well for that day. So it's all very, very simple in terms of booking things in and out. To actually create a team in here as well is very simple. You just basically give it a team name, and then you can add in as many engineers as you want for that team, and then click them and use them all in one go. Also, it's very, very simple. When you're in a cell, you can obviously copy and paste. So if I wanted to copy this one here, copy all, and I want to paste it in here, I can do that as well. And that's basically let me copy the same team for another day very, very quickly. Obviously on the right click options as well, you can obviously clear all the bookings if you want to change your mind, and you can paste people in additionally to the actual bookings that are already in the cell. So it's very, very simple to use, and it gives you a proper view now. As you can see, I've got a week or more here in front of me, and I can see which jobs are due, and I can see which engineers and teams I've actually put onto those jobs. You can, if you want to, print this via Excel, which would basically then give you a colour version of this on a hard copy for your teams, or you can basically let engineers use the calendar overview as well, which basically works on a week-by-week basis. And you can see from this exactly how busy each engineer is. I've got a lot of engineers listed here, but what you can see from this colour scheme is that if they're red, essentially, they're booked out for the day. So that's a whole day booking in this case. If it's green, basically it's less than 3 hours, okay? And if it's yellow, it's more than 3 hours, but less than 6. And obviously white cells are completely open for booking. So I can create a job booking or create a manual booking, which would be non-productive, such as holiday and sickness from here if I want to. You can also, if you want to, move a booking here from one to another cell like so. So you can still move an engineer that way too. But this gives you the basic calendar overview. And with this one, you can lock the view if you want to. And then engineer can come in here himself and he can basically look at the booking. So double click, he can look at the booking, when it starts, when it ends. He can view a map of how to get there, and he can also view the detail of the job or look at more info, which tells him who else he might be going with and any resources that he might be taking to. So hopefully that quick overview of labour scheduling gives you an idea of exactly how that can help you. And if you are currently using whiteboards and stuff that you have to wipe and clean, then obviously this is a much more permanent record, because you can go back to the previous week and see any bookings, or go on to the next week and see any bookings coming up as well, so you don't lose that information. I hope you found that useful, and thanks for listening.